Local Bars Realm. Today I think I'm going to see if I can get this old hand crank drill functional. It's been in our barn a long time. Obviously the last person that used it broke the drill bit off and probably said screw this thing. So I'm just going to put it in some vinegar up to about here because I don't want to get this wooden part wet. Just soak it in vinegar and remove some of this rust. See if I can get it moving at least. Get that nut off of there. Start by doing that. Alright, well, I just got this out of the vinegar. I kind of forgot about it. It's been in there a couple days. The wood kind of got wet with the vinegar, but I'm just going to use a toothbrush and kind of clean up some of this stuff. See what I can get off. Maybe use a wire brush. Let's work on that for a little while. Alright, just working on the preliminary cleanup here. I left it soaking with some penetrating oil overnight to get this screw out of here, but it did not want to come out of there, so I ended up putting a little propane torch on it, and then it came loose. So it's still kind of hot, but at least I got it out of there. And these nuts that went on there, so I'm hoping that this whole piece will just come off. Just let it cool for a few minutes. Well, I guess I'm going to have to make a new handle. Well, I had to get a little medieval on this thing to break this gear loose, but I finally got it. I took this pin out, actually I drilled it out. Now it's bigger than it started, and it never did come apart. But that's fine, I can put a new pin through it. But I got this freed up. Now I just got to go back and clean up those teeth a little bit. Well, continuing on here, just cleaning this up. It's sanded down, but it's got some pits and stuff from the rust and from my pliers and whatever, but it's looking pretty decent. So I'm just going to continue on cleaning these up with the wire wheel. And I need to find some wire that I can use as little rivets, pegs through these. Get those attached back on there. Just going to continue on with that. Alright, well, I cleaned those pieces up pretty good, and it did. Once I got them loose, it wasn't too bad, but boy, that rust was tough. I don't know if I'll end up having to replace this wooden handle. I don't think so. Looks like it's alright. I'll have to do that bigger one that goes on the top. I think I'm just gonna put it back together and see if it functions. Breaking this one loose was the hardest. I fixed it up pretty good, I think. So just got a little piece of wire to put in as the pin, so let's put it back together. Oh, another thing that I thought was really neat is this chuck has little springs in it that retracts those jaws. I cleaned that up about as good as I could. Hard to get in there. I think it comes apart right here if you had the right tool to unscrew that, but I'm not going to mess with that. I'll just end up destroying it, but that's pretty neat. I'm glad those springs didn't get rusted through. It seems to function. So let's put it back together. Alright, I just prepping this for painting. I cleaned it all off with some acetone to get the oils and whatever off of it. And I need to replace these rivets. So this is just a piece of wire off of some fencing that is the right diameter. So I'm going to start by replacing that rivet, and I drilled this one out with a little bit bigger drill bit. So I got another piece of wire I think that'll work for it. So just gonna get those put in before I start taping for painting. Alright, well, I got the metal part of the drill painted and it's drying now, so I think I'll start on the handle part. And I think I'm going to use this piece of table leg that I've been using on a couple other projects. I really like that wood, whatever kind it is, I'm not sure, but I'm going to start by just taking the diameter of this down. I'm just going to probably try to cut it like the diameter of this part here. Let's do that. Alright, so I drilled a hole in that handle piece and then just glued a dowel in it because I knew it wasn't going to be straight, just drilling it by hand. So now I'm just going to use it on the belt sander and get it round. Alright, I got it all sized up and got the hole drilled for the rivet. And I'm going to make a little copper collar to put around there. So it's just a scrap of copper I have that I'm just bending it around this. Alright, I got the copper collar pretty much done. I just need to go and file it off a little bit to bring it even with the top and sand that wood down a little. Just holding it together with the wire I'm going to use for the rivet. So I also put a little bit of solder just to hold it together a little bit. So get that filed and polish it up on the wire wheel. Alright, time to put it back together. The only thing about the paint is I didn't do a real good job right above that gear, but man, that was hard to tape that up. But good enough. try this thing out. Jeez. I think I'll stick to my cordless drill, honestly. But that was fun. It was fun to breathe some new life into this old thing. Thanks for watching. Until next time.